Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining TarnationTV.com live here on a Wednesday evening. We are at the TMP Championship Racing Series. This is the IROC Championship Series here for, I guess does this count as the winter?
Yeah, it's kind of the winter. It's a winter series. It's they go like 2025, 2026 season series.
Yeah, well, awesome that these guys brought us in to do this. We got this race tonight and then one more next Wednesday to wrap it all up. And this evening we are at Trenton Fairgrounds Speedway, which is a very unique track. We'll get into that a little bit later, but as of right now, I am Blaine Donlin, joined by Rod Weston.
Yeah, and if you guys are new here, well, we'll tell you a little bit how this thing runs, but they're basically kind of an elimination style of like a playoff. It's a 4-race playoff. Currently, right now, they're going to be getting rid of the next 3 drivers. The 6 drivers that are going after it tonight is the 33 of Tom Goodman, the 6 of Richard Knappick, the 910 Jamie Tedder, the 85 Josh 2, the 2 Rich Finkel, the 24 is Viper. I believe his name is Chris as well. Those are the 6 drivers that are trying to get into the last race to be in the chase. Then there's a little hitch to that. We'll get to the points here in a minute, but the points, the guy who finishes highest in points that did not make it will be the 4th driver in. So that'll be it's pretty cool.
It's a very neat track. Like we were saying before, you filled me in that Pocono Turn 1 is actually based off of turn on this course, but this course actually doesn't even exist anymore. And it's got a little bit of a sweep to the right on the back, which is very strange for an oval. I guess you would call this an oval, but it's not really, because it's more like a kidney bean.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those. They based turn 1 in Pocono is Trenton, turn 2 is Indy, and turn 3 is Milwaukee Mile. But yeah, so it kind of comes off the corner. The corner isn't really what you would say, a perfect corner. It doesn't go the whole distance, but it goes out. And then turn 3 and 4 is quite a bit wider. You can actually almost run 3 and 4 wide open, and there's a lot more room. You really, really have to slow down a lot more for turn 1. But like you said, that little tricky dog leg, it's not that bad. It doesn't really affect, doesn't even really wear the tires at all, but it is kind of unique. You got the way that it is set up.
Yeah, kind of like, what's the angle on that? Oh yeah, you can see the aerial here. We're getting on it now. It almost looks like a Darlington, where they've got the one narrow end and then the one massive end. It's almost like they were going around something when they built the track, but kind of like that's how Darlington happened to be so unique. Was
Middle
they didn't
pond.
want to the fishing pond. They didn't want to move it, and they only had a certain amount of space to put a track down. So they're like, you know what? We'll just have this turn have a tighter radius so that they don't mess up the pond. But that's how you get these unique little tracks like this.
It was a minnow pond. That they didn't want to mess with the minnow pond. That's why one corner was smaller than the other.
That's cool.
But it made for a really cool track after they got it done.
Yeah, only one like it.
We were talking about, we get a little points. So far, right now, Tom Goodman is in the points lead of this 10-race series after the 2 races. Rich Knappick is 2nd. John Wall is 3rd. Now, John Wall missed last week's race, so John Wall is not one of the 6 drivers that is going into it. But if he can beat Tom Musa, which we go down through the list, the next guy that is highest in points to him is Tom Musa. So one guy is going to be there, Dwayne Driscoll. And we've heard rumor that, not rumor, we heard fact, but that his grandfather passed away. So Wade Driscoll will not be here tonight. So we offer our condolences to him. That's a tough thing to have to deal with. But he was, I believe, already out of the chase. So that, unfortunately for him, he won't be here tonight. I don't know about John Wall, because we see John Wall earlier having connection issues. I don't know if he's still in the server. We'll have to check that out.
He's out here checking out the farmhouses and the back straightaway. But yeah, that's a shame about Wade. They said that just on the weekend there. That's why he's not on track today. He's having to obviously deal with that.
Yeah, that kind of bites. We do have to say though, today is Mackenzie's birthday. Today she turns 23, and she
Happy
is
birthday.
going to be our honorary pace car driver for tonight. She's going to take care of the pace car duties for TMP tonight.
Always cool to have a guest pace car driver. Happy birthday, Mackenzie Weston.
April Fool's baby.
Yeah.
We can run through qualifying real quick. Rich Napick on the pole. Outside pole is going to be Jamie Tedder. Third is going to be Tom Musa. Not in the championship as of yet, but highest in points other than John Wall, so he could have a possibility. Starting in the fourth, I've got to do this. Number 44 on the track, number 1 in your hearts, hailing from New Jersey, it's Dan Nabino Rubino. We were doing that earlier, so I had to do that for him. But starting fifth will be Viper. Starting sixth, the current points leader, Tom Goodman. Starting seventh is Rich Finkel. Eighth will be Dick Jordan. We call him RC. 10th is Josh 2. Look at this, 10th and 11th. You and I, you still out-qualify me. Always do that. Starting, basically, I guess we'll just do it like that. Then starting 10th tonight will be Robert Spring. Started third, yeah, I'm going to mess it up already. 11th will be John Wall. So, and then, of course, there's one car in there. It says official. That is the, Roger Neville, or just kind of sitting in there and taking care of tire duties and whatnot, because they get 18 tires for tonight, and they can't change tires under yellow flag conditions. They got a pretty kind of neat little strategy they do here.
That's very fun. I like that. It's tough to keep track of it sometimes, but I think it was it Neville that sits off track and actually takes care of all that stuff?
Yeah, basically, normally what they do, it is you have 10 tires for the whole race. They do it 2 races per night kind of thing. So each race you have 10 races. You have the 4 tires you start with, and then you have 6 tires to use at your discretion. But you have to remember, you cannot change tires under a yellow flag condition. If you do, you're required to come around, and we say this every time, the rod rule. You have to come around, take the green, then drive down pit road. You have to do a stop and go, turn your tires off, go down, do a stop and go, and then come back out. And then you won't be penalized. If you do not do that, then you are required to, at the end of the thing, they will realize that you didn't do what they said to do, then you get dropped down a lap. So.
Right.
But tonight, there's 18 tires. The distance is a little bit further than normal, just because it's a single race. They're doing 102 laps. And Tom's really pretty good at making sure that, fuel mileage and tires are, going to be close. You're pretty much almost going to use them all. We have seen in the last 2 races, some of the guys, the first race of the season there, Jamie Tedder, finished the race with still had 2 tires left in the first one, still had 2 tires left in the second one. But, it's couldn't carry him over. We tried really, really hard to do that. So
that would have been funny, yeah, if you could buy the other guy. We were trying to, see if the guy could buy the tires from the other team or whatever. It was kind of a neat thing where I wonder if.
We're trying to get Tom to let him, he's got 4 tires he didn't use, can he use them next week? But no, he wouldn't budge on that. So
yeah, no, it reset. The hauler can only haul so much tires.
We do know that they do not do that many live races here every once in a while. Most of the time, they're done just around their championship stuff. We were fortunate enough we did one for them, and they wanted us to do the Aero 88, and then of course they wanted us to do the last 4 championship rounds. They were told tonight that this is their 40th live race that they've ever done. They were aired by Johto Network, and the first race was held on September 21st of 2020, the first live race that they ever done. And that was won by Tom Musa, and Tom was saying, he goes, I think that was the last race I ever won. So
yeah, it was neat. They hired JTN in, it was 2020 September, and that was the first ever broadcasted live YouTube race. And here we are almost 6 years later, about 5.5 really, but
yeah.
and it a lot of similar names. And yeah, there was a very close finish too. It was like 1/1000th of a second at the line between Musa winning and Nebelsic in second place. So that's pretty awesome. They have and yeah, like, and that's cool too. They've got our logo on the track and everything. So yeah, thanks TMP Racing Series for choosing to go with Tarnation TV. Is JTN still a thing? They don't pop up on my feed as much anymore.
Yeah, I don't think he does it as much now. I think he was doing it, a lot of it when he was in college. So it was kind of one of those things that, he could do after classes, make a little cash doing it. I don't know if he still does them or not. So, it'd be an interesting thing to find out. But I'm pretty sure I probably still friends with him on Facebook or something. I could probably find out sometime. But
yeah, and I know his dog passed away too, because the dog was part of the broadcast. Like his logos and stuff always had a dog silhouette in it. And unfortunately, a couple of months ago, the dog passed. But that sucks. It's just man's best friend.
Racer at heart, Bristol. That was his dog's name, was Bristol.
Oh, his dog is Bristol. Perfect.
Yeah. In at the chat, of course, Mackenzie's, filling it up. Josh, too's in there as well, giving his condolences for Wade Disco and his family. We got Mr. Steve Rubino in there, giving us a howdy. He should be out here racing. I don't know what he's doing, man. That guy usually is here, but, I think he kind of took some time away from it. Another thing to say, too, is Roger Nebelsic. He is one of the guys that's, back when I raced with these guys a lot, and, I was one of the admins and whatnot, he was always here. Kind of took a little hiatus from it. His kid decided that he wanted to do some racing, and they've come kind of back into it. And now, Roger's back doing it, so we're glad to see him back here.
Mackenzie's pace guard's pretty slick. Classic Papyrus paint job.
Yeah. We just got to see if she drives it like Gracie or she drives it like Alton Sultan. Alton Sullen. Alton Sullen. Not afraid. Or Katarina. Katarina really drove it.
Yeah, I remember that time. It was that pace car had to get to the front fast. 0 to 140 in about 6 seconds.
But ironically, when we put Gracie in it, it drove just like she did. So.
Thanks again, everybody watching live on YouTube this evening. A few people checking it out.
Glad to see John Wall is in the field, and right now he looks a lot better, so hopefully it stays going for him. To see John up there fighting, battling with Musa, to see who, when it comes down to it, who ends up with that last spot.
Nope, I clicked something wrong and I cooked it. Rebooting broadcast. Not broadcast, rebooting the game. Grr. That was a bad move by me. I clicked off screen.
Rich Knappett gets a pretty good run. Jamie Tedder's holding strong on that high side there. It's interesting to see. I don't remember this track really having a good outside groove there in turn one. It did not. Knappett right out into the lead and down into that little dog leg. He's gone down through there, headed into turn 3. I will say, I don't really like TV1 here.
Have you raced much here on this track? Yeah? Cool.
Not a lot, but I mean, every time that I was with these guys racing, we popped it in, and over to Hobo, Hobo's the family there, Rubino family, Dan and Steve, their dad used to race here. So they've been to this track, and were here when it was really, running and doing all that stuff like that. So they would run it quite often over there in the modifieds and stuff like that, because they had a nice little modified thing going on Thursdays.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of fun. Epic still holding the lead. Ooh, Tedder almost got into the back of him going into 1. Turn 1 is a lot tighter than turn 3 and 4. Turn 3 and 4 is a little bit more room, more opening, and really got to kind of break into that first corner.
It's almost twice the radius on that, because we're looking at it from the sky there in the pre-race. It's massive, that turn 3 and 4 compared to 1 and 2. So what's the strategy on that back straightaway with that weird dog leg? Is there any way to pass back there? I mean, I guess it's just sort of a thing, like.
The only way you're going to really get a strategy there is if you can beat them off from two and get to that, before kind of beside them, because that's the only way. If you can get on the inside of somebody, even though you're on the outside of them, going into that little dog leg, by the time you get around there, you're going to be on the inside of them. This is kind of one of those tracks that are like most of the ones. They're all kind of a bottom feeding track. There's not a lot of grip on the high side of it. I guess we got to get someone like Godfrey to come in here and make this thing a two wide racing track, but it's not uncommon with most of the tracks in NASCAR 2003. They're bottom feeding tracks. You just can't really get off the bottom and make any time up. How you're going to make a lot of time up here, though, is tires. If you are good on your tires, let's say we go caution free, they're good on your tires. If you can save them tires up for the end of the kind of the run, you're going to be quicker in the end, and you'll make up a lot more time. They can do about what the garage says, about 22 laps on fuel. I'm not 100% sure how far they go on tires. We had Tom in there. We should have asked him.
Yep.
Bit of caution. We'll pull him down and see if he can give us a little insight on that.
You can see Napa currently leading this thing. He's got Jamie Tedder behind him, Tom Musa right there, and Rubino, Viper, Fenkel, Goodman, Waltu, Spring, and Jordan to round out the 11 cars that were able to start this evening.
Looking real quick, like Bino, he is only 3 points behind Musa right now. Not that that's going to be the big thing about it. If Bino's got to stay ahead of Musa, and they've got to hope that John Wall has troubles, because we've seen John Wall many a time with SMO and over here and some of the other places. John Wall's a pretty good little shoe. So if he's got a pretty good points lead on him, that's going to be a hard one to beat. So.
All these guys are so consistent. It's crazy to watch them week in and week out, how well they get through these races.
Yeah.
I mean, the total amount of yellows we've seen here at TMP, it's almost next to nothing.
Tom does a really good job. Tom Musa does a good job getting a setup underneath him, making sure that it drives good, whatever. And with that, the strategy of it, you get guys out there sometimes with newer tires and older tires, and these guys seem to race well together. They're very courteous. It's a good group of guys. It's a lot of fun to race. Anybody that wants to come do this, it's a strategy. It's a strategy kind of racing. You got to get used to that. I remember when he first said you can't change tires under yellow. I think I messed that up a couple of times, just getting used to not taking tires when you come in.
Yeah, you got to put your brain in a different gear, because we're under yellow. Like you could even be set up to go in full service under green, and then an accident happens. If you were already in pit road, you're allowed to make your pit stop. You could take full service. Technically, the yellow's out, the pits are closed, but you were in the pits before the pits were closed. You're allowed to take full set of tires, or you're allowed to do a tire change without getting a penalty. Yeah.
That's the good thing. If you're not, if you're outside of it, no, obviously you can't. And that's happened.
Because it's that commitment cone, right? Like you're committed to pitting to get tire service, and then the yellow comes up. That's not your problem. That's part of your strategy. You get to continue with that.
And have you happened to notice that Jamie Tedder, he's dropped all the way back to 5th, but I don't think that's because it's an ill-handling car. I don't think it's that he's having any troubles. I think that's just Jamie Tedder doing Jamie Tedder stuff. He knows this track is going to be probably a little bit aggressive on that right front tire. He's just saving what he can and, kind of just letting it go. So far right now, we're 12 laps into this thing, still going green, still going strong. He's just using that strategy of trying to save as much tires as he can. Maybe, I don't know, when they'll pit or whatnot, but maybe he can go a little bit further. Notice John Wall, he also was in the back. He started shotgun in the field. He is currently just creeping up on the back bumper of Jamie Tedder there. He's about, I don't even say he's really that far back. He's catching him pretty quick. So I don't think John Wall's saving tires right now, because John Wall's got to go out there and he's got to keep himself ahead in the points so they can make it into the, make it into that final four.
Right, yeah. Speaking of which, the final 6 is the 2, the 6, the 24, the 33, 85, and the 910. So those drivers, the 2, the 6, the 24, the 910, the 85, and the 33. They're all in here today, so that's good.
Bad Boy 13. I'm going to guess that that's Chris Aiken. Says in there, and he says, Rod, if you were in the lead on lap 78 of 100, is it 3? Okay.
Yeah.
3 of 102 lap. What would you think of your chances of finishing third? Well, depends.
If you're in the lead on lap 73, oh, is this like a throwback to something?
I think it might have had something to do with Talladega. I think, because
102?
I don't know. But either way, Bob, we're here, so I don't know. But, the chances of me finishing third, probably not good with these guys here. Oh, I do all right, but you get Jamie Tedder, Viper, John Wall, Tom Musa, Tom Goodman, even Chris Aiken when he comes over. These guys are some of these guys are really quick, really good strategists. I've beaten them at some places, but not too often.
This is a smaller league, like not smaller, but just they get average about 12 to 20ish drivers every single time. Yeah. But the racing is always phenomenal.
Of course, the reason that there's only 12 here tonight, other than Dwayne Driscoll not being here, is there is a kind of a rule that Tom has, is that you have to run a certain amount of races. So where Roger Nevelsek and his son kind of got into the game a little late, they didn't run enough races, so they obviously didn't finish in the were not high enough in the points because there was enough drivers for the Aero 88 series, which was the last series before this. Mm-hmm. They can't come in and race because they didn't race enough. And I get it. It's kind of one of those, they don't want somebody coming in here and kind of ruining it for somebody else. You know what I mean? So it makes sense that just have these guys going for the championship to go out there and just fight for it.
That's the thing. Yeah, this is your championship like playoff series. It's going to be full of the regulars.
Now Tom Musa's still out there in the lead. Dan Rubino second. But as you were talking about, can you do anything in the dog leg? You need to watch what John Wall did. He was on the outside of the dog leg going around there. Now, he didn't quite have the speed that he needed, but he was positioning himself to try to pass Bino on turn 3 and 4. Like we talked about John Wall a little bit ago, we were kind of got off the track there, but he is currently up into the 3rd position. So ironically, it's kind of funny. You've got Tom Musa, you got Dan Rubino, and you got John Wall, 1, 2, and 3 up there. Those are the 3 guys that are kind of the lead guys fighting for that fourth spot. So when I say that, you got to also consider we're going to lose 3 drivers tonight. So let's just say hypothetically, Tom Goodman, Rich Napick, and Jamie Tedder. It looks like we got a few guys, Tom Musa and Dan Rubino, going down pit road. But let's just say that we're just with the Tom Musa, Rich Napick, and Jamie Tedder with the 3. Well, now you got to take Rich Finkel, Viper, and what was the other one? Yep, I got to figure that one out too. Oh yeah, Viper and Jamie and Josh too. You would have to take them guys, and now they are in that points battle. So you might be the points leader, highest, like John Wall's the highest one right now, but come the end of the night, he may not be.
Yeah. I was riding on board with Wall, and the game crashed again. Interesting. First time was my fault. I clicked off the screen. That was not. So,
Dick Jordan's making his trip down pit road. So the one that hasn't pitted, surprise, is Jamie Tedder. As Tom Musa, it looks like, and here comes Jamie Tedder now as we speak. He got his lap led. Does not necessarily meaning that he needs them points, but if something should happen, that's the bonus points for him. So that if he doesn't make it through tonight's race into the championship, he might have the opportunity to stand by points. It's kind of neat. You're gonna have 3 guys by the end of the night. You got 3 guys that are gonna make it into the championship, and then just by points, the rest of the 9 guys are gonna have to. They're fighting it out to just get that 4th spot, and if they can get that 4th spot, yeah. I just looked over what Chris wrote. Yeah, Wall's cheating, obviously.
That's probably what crashed my game.
Yeah. So Jamie Tedder's making his trip off pit road. Trying to see where if he got out ahead of Tom. I think he was going to be behind him.
Who's currently being billed in first? I think it's the 9-10.
Yeah, but he just come off pit road, so it's going to be Tom Musa is going to lead that lap right there, but he's got John Wall all over him. And John Wall's just using, about a car and a 8th. He's got a little bit of latency, but
yeah, he was having some awful connection problems in practice. It's definitely fine now.
Musa's not giving up, boy. They're coming down there. Musa tries to do a little side draft. That's lap lead there is going to be by John Wall.
Yep, the battle for first, won by the 0.
And we're only 25 laps into this. Figured about 22 laps-ish.
Yeah, so that's their fuel window is somewhere around 20. It's going to open up, and then you're going to see guys, on different strategies, as always. Some guys will use up their tires a little quicker. They might have to come in a little earlier, but 20 to 25 seems to be the range.
Yeah, I imagine tires are pretty close to that. So we could grab Tom Musa and bring him down here, but he's a little busy right now.
Yeah. There's Dick Jordan in the 61 sitting back there in 11th spot, trying to reel in the 74 of Robert Spring.
Robert and I were talking about this track earlier, and I knew that he likes the track. He was running it in practice a little bit and whatnot, but the biggest place that he struggles a little bit is on his braking in turn 1. You can see he loses a little bit of time there. We're still working on that. Robert's planning on coming up here from Ohio, taking a little trip up to Vermont to hang out with me for a few days, and we're going to try to work on getting his braking thing set up. He's got a simulator that they just need to get it put together, I guess, and he wants to figure some stuff out. So we plan on spending a day with that and making it hopefully something better for him, so he can get to these short tracks or these tracks where you got to use a lot of braking, and maybe he'll be able to, get that braking down a little better.
Oh, that's cool. He's coming up. So is he bringing like a laptop, or how are you going to do that?
I've got a couple of computers and whatnot, but he's actually going to bring his old computer up. He doesn't want to bring the new one. He just built a new one here, probably about a month ago. And so he's going to leave that one at home. He's going to bring his wheel, the sim rig that he has, and we'll play around with it. I might even rig it up so the pedals are upside down for him. It's like a real car.
Yeah, I've seen some of those pedals are able to be mounted inverted, so it's more like a real car.
The ECCI pedals are invert. They hang down like a regular pedal, which is really, really cool. But I've seen guys take the G27s and flip them upside down and change the springs around a little bit and whatever so that it's right, and literally use the clutch pedal on them for the gas.
Right.
Which is kind of neat.
Yeah, it's a great design because even my pedals here, like I've got the Logitech, 20, I think it's the G29 or whatever it is. And it is the brake pedal has that tension in it, like it's got like a rubber stopper, so it feels like a brake pedal, but the clutch and the gas are just on a spring-loaded thing. So if you were to flip them over, they would still feel the same. Your middle pedal would still be the brake.
Yeah, that's the way they do that with the G25s whenever they do, because they have the clutch. It's all the same kind of setup, so you just flip it upside down and it works.
That's a neat design. I saw that. The first time I saw that, I was like, what a weird, why would you do that? And then, it makes total sense, because in a real car, they would be coming down from the top. In
a street car, but believe it or not, when you do like street stocks and stuff like that, they hang. modifieds in pro stocks. A lot of them will actually run them on the floor, kind of similar to what the race, your wheels are, your gaming wheels are. The reasoning for that is that it puts all of that weight down lower. So you basically have a pedal that's come up off the floor and a rod going out to your master cylinders through the firewall, and they're, probably almost a foot lower. We do that. We have that in our modified. The modified clutch is down there. Our brake pedal and our 2 brake master cylinders, because we have one for the front, one for the rear, are up higher. But the clutch is actually down low.
Oh, okay.
Right now, currently, John Wald out there just leading it away. Tom Musa second. Josh too's worked his way up into the 3rd spot. Richard Knappick is in 4th. So I would just say, if it was to end right now, we know it's not going to. We're not even at the halfway point. Josh 2, Rich Knappick, and Viper would be the 3 drivers that would make it into the championship, and then obviously it would depend on, where everybody else. I guess I would say if it landed that right now, it would be John Wall. That would be the 4th one in there. But it depends. This is the 3rd race of it, so looking forward to next week. So where was that? They're going to be Homestead.
Is it home? Yeah, I was going to say, it was California or Homestead?
Homestead, yeah.
Yeah.
You're thinking California because where did we do the other day? It was California?
Yeah.
Oh, Open Speedway.
It was a doubleheader. Yeah, they did California and
it was open. It's called Open Speedway Night.
right, Talladega. Yeah.
Basically, it is the RTG version 4. Kind of just John Godfrey did his work over it and basically tweaked it up and made it into their own little version of it.
Yeah, very neat to see another retexturing of Talladega. One of the first retextures of the version 4 with a wider pit road.
Yeah. I say RC just looks like he just come off pit road, so he's in a little bit different pitch strategy. Still got a little ways to go because they did about 22 laps. We're only on lap 37 right now, so about maybe 5 laps or so we should start seeing pit stops again. I think you're probably your first car that'll be down on pit road. I'm guessing here would probably Tom Musa, because he was one of the earlier ones. Jeez, look at that.
Right when you said it.
Did I get that call right?
Yep.
I tell you, sometimes I look like I'm a professional and I just actually screwed up just right.
Yeah.
Figured Tom would be one of the earlier ones to come down, make up that time. I mean, it paid off for him pretty good. He was out there, he led a few laps. He did drop back a little to John Wall, and but we're talking John Wall too. So one that surprises me though is Jamie Tedder being that far back. I'm not sure if he's having an issue or whatnot, but it just doesn't seem like the typical Jamie Tedder. But mind you, we're not even to the halfway point. I'm sure Jamie's got a plan.
2 tires stop for the 4 of Musa.
4 tires or 2?
2 actually. I think he just took the 2.
Okay, different strategy.
Yep.
So now why you would do that, I know we've seen Tom Goodman try that, and it did not work out for him. But why you would do that is now you go out and you run. You might be a little bit slower right now, but you'll go out and run it. But what he's trying to do is possibly save 4 tires, so when he gets to the end, he's out there on the 4 brand new tires instead of being out there trying to struggle on just 2.
Well, and it's a great time to experiment with stuff like that as early in the race. We're 39 laps into 102, so if you want to make a mistake, maybe now's the time to do it because you got lots of time to figure out the next stop. But like I said, yeah, you're right. They're trying to do 2. If you're going to do your 2 tire stop, you better best do it early. That way you got lots of tires left over at the end of the race. And you can put that thing on rails and just drive it to the front.
That's one way of doing it. Somebody else is down pit road. I think Vino. Yeah, Dan
Yep.
Rubino. Yep. I thought I saw him going down there. I was trying to find a better view. I don't really like the cameras on this.
Yeah, the race cameras aren't bad, and then I like the pit 1 and pit 2 are weird.
The TV1, it hangs on that dog leg a little bit too long in the backstretch there.
Yeah, you
so
can't see much, yeah. The static cameras pull you out of it, I find, because you're not seeing anything happening. You're seeing the cars drive by, but it's...
Rich Finkel and Josh 2, Jamie Tedder all on pit road. I'm going to just see what looks like Josh 2's taking 4. Is down and away. He came in a little bit ahead of these guys.
Finkel had her up on the right side, and he's doing a full...
All right, so...
Full stop.
Rich Finkel 4, Jamie Tedder 2 tires. That's an interesting...
Oh, had the brake check there. Viper was coming in. Viper with right sides.
It's kind of funny that these, somewhere around the halfway point, they're taking just 2 tires.
Viper getting full.
Rich Napick is in. He's taking 4 tires. Viper take 4 too, you said?
Yes, he did. Yep.
Kind of saw him off the corner. I was watching Napick, and unfortunately for Mackenzie, this is such a good league. She's not getting a lot of track time tonight.
Nope.
All right, so after that, Tom Moose's back out front. Now, like I told you, that strategy so far, we got Robert Spring pulling in, and RC is Dick Jordan's pulling in.
Well, Mackenzie's car is different now because I had to reset because I crashed because the game crashed. It was a random pace car. That's funny.
Yep. She didn't like that one, so she went and grabbed the red one.
Yeah. There's Dick Jordan in 61.
And now Moose's got about a 4-second lead over John Wall. Now John's got to turn on and make that up. So, but basically what happens there is, as they get to the end of this tire run, the car starts to handle real bad and whatnot. It's not going as good as you would hope it would. If the tires are falling off, you're losing a little bit of time. By coming in a little earlier, even though it only took 2 tires, he was out there on them newer tires for a little bit longer than them guys were, so that gave him that little bit of a lead. Now the only thing is being out there with 2 tires for this run, if he's going to go, then going to have to go probably about 40 to 45, 40 to 42 laps ish on them tires. He probably won't do that. I think if this race keeps going under green, I think you'll see him probably cut it. Would say about maybe 15 to 16 laps. If you he's going to just go out there with those 2 tires for a decent amount of time, but they're going to start to wear. That front left side tire is going to start to wear. They'll come in, then he'll take 4 and finish out the rest of his pit stop. So the rest of the night with 4, having a little bit, hopefully a quicker car.
Does that dog leg having to go to the right a little bit, does that affect, that wouldn't really affect tire wear much, I wouldn't think.
No.
Because that's just a sweeping turn. It's not like an actual, braking zone.
No, it's such a light turn.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, that it may actually help a little bit by putting a little heat in the left side tires. Really, you know what I mean? You don't really put that much wheel in it. It's just a subtle little turn. Actually, I tell you, I'm pretty impressed with the 2 tires. I didn't see what John Wall took for tires, but he's actually not gaining on Musa. Musa's gained about 1/10 of a second on him. So, but there again, Musa's plan might be put 2 tires on, go out there, run hard for a little bit, maybe try to get away from him. As I say that, they just lost 2/10 to John Wall, but his plan might be to not run these things for very long, but just to go out there and run him hard for a little bit, and then kind of come in, get his 4 tires, and then get back on his other strategy.
You always wonder what they're planning for that final pit stop too, because it'll probably be full service if they have enough rubber.
Right. Could be too. That could be it as well, as maybe, they don't have enough tires for the night. You know what I mean? So they got to run maybe 2 stints on just 2.
Yeah, or maybe your last stop's a 2-tire stop to get the track position, and then but you do it really late, because then you're not on the track that long with bad tires. If you can push it farther, you might only need the 2. But yeah, to get the track position and then limp that thing to the finish. There's all kinds of different scenarios that'll work.
Right now, currently, there's only 8 cars on the lead lap. Excuse me, the first car a lap down is Robert Spring, and then RC Jordan is in the 10th spot. So, no cautions there. Moose out there setting a pretty good pace. Of course, now John Wall's run him down. He's got him down under 4 seconds now. So, I don't know if John took 4 tires. If John took 4 tires, the tire wear on Moose's car is kind of fallen off just a little bit. So that would probably be why that, John Wall's catching him so quickly. Right now, I see, what's that? Okay, so I'm looking at John Wall is ahead of, it says he's ahead of Josh 2, but must be Josh 2. I think probably took, John Wall may have taken only 2 tires too, so Josh 2 just went right around him. So I bet you if he had gotten 4 tires, he's probably working his way towards that front on 4 tires where them guys took 2. Two is on the move. He just took off another, about almost a second off of Musa. So,
well, and he was near the back at the start of the race, and I mean, it's not if you hit your marks, here we are, because we always see him up the top usually.
Yeah, this track, I mean, if depending a lot on tire wear, like I said, if the tires, some of them guys, different strategy did 2 tires, some of them did 4. I would think those 4 tires, once you get maybe 5-10 laps on them, are gonna, the 4 tires are gonna be a lot quicker.
Josh 2 currently in second place, 1.7 seconds behind.
And dropping.
Musa in first.
And now it's down to 0.91. So yeah, he is coming. Yeah. He can see him now. He's starting to get the draft now. So
yeah, is draft much of a thing here? How long is this track? Is it a mile? I forgot to check that when I was coming into the game. I usually write that down.
It is a 1.5 mile track.
Oh, here he goes. 2 underneath.
So turns 1 and 2 are 10 degrees. That's the same as what I run on my go-kart. As Josh 2's ducking underneath Tom Musa for the lead. Yep. The dog leg is actually 4 degrees, and turn 3 and 4 is 15 degrees.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mile and a half. Doesn't seem that long.
And it doesn't. But imagine if you were out there, it would seem it.
Yeah,
seem fast. Mackenzie's in there saying, I'm enjoying my birthday tonight, which is very cool. Not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, we will be, like I said, out having Japanese, they call it a Japanese steakhouse, where they come out and cook it in front of us. It's pretty cool.
That's neat, yeah. Watch the guy cook your food.
The 11th, we've got probably ASR, right? I think, yeah.
Probably. If it's a Saturday, yeah.
Yeah. We were debating whether to go on the 11th or the 18th, and then I remembered that the ALS race is on the 18th, and I know Kelly Cause is going to want me there, so.
Yep, there you can see upcoming broadcasts for Tarnation TV. Tomorrow night will be at Talladega Challenge, with FRN doing the commentary. And make sure to tune in on the 4th, the End Gun Violence 200 hosted at ASR, the 6th annual Cannon Hinnett Memorial Race. There'll be a QR code in that broadcast that you can follow to donate to the Cannon's Last Ride. I can't remember what it's because he liked bicycles, eh? So there's a foundation set up. So it's called Cannon's Final Ride. Cannon's, I can't remember exactly what it's called, It's escaping me right now, of course. The pressure's on and I can't come up with it. But anyway, Ken, in his name, they created this little fundraiser, and they do it every year. And yeah, Brian Wolf has a QR code attached to the donation link there, so you can send money to the cause. They basically get together at the park that was kind of put together with his name on it also, and they, little community gathering, a little fundraising event. All proceeds gathered, of course, go back into the community, which is always cool.
Saw Musa dropping back there, so Musa went in a little earlier than everybody else. He's been doing that all night. He's pulling the old Bob Dixon rule, and he took 4 tires now. So this has dropped him just outside of the lead, so now he's the first car that's 1 lap down. But I would imagine that he will be making up that time, trying to find out where he is compared to where Josh 2 is, who is currently the leader right now.
And that's the thing, you're trying to run math on the tires, right? Like you're thinking, okay, we can come in and do this and do that. Oh, we got more action on pit road there.
Just Musa's, not that far. He's only about a quarter of a track distance away from him with him 4 fresh tires. He should, be able to catch up and get his lap back, but I would imagine Josh 2 will be in there in short order.
John Wall, right sides only.
Here comes Josh 2 on the pit road. That'll hand the lead over to Rich Knappick. Viper's second. Josh 2 still counted as third, but he's on pit road. Just checking to see how he does, what he does for tires.
Yep, right sides are going on. So are the lefts.
Yep. I haven't heard much from Tom Goodman up front there tonight. Normally he's one of them guys that runs up near the front. I know that he and Rich Knappick won the first race. Tom Goodman won last week's race. So unfortunately for them, winning a race just gives you the points, or keeps you ahead of the other guys that you're battling with in the playoff. But that also gives you the better points. But they're really, the win doesn't assure that you're going to make it in.
Richard Finkel with full service. Viper's got the right sides only. Whoa, that was close. Tedder coming in right in front of Viper. See what Tedder does. Right sides are up.
It's kind of interesting how we're seeing some people use, different strategies.
Full service for Tedder. All 4. Yeah, it's very neat. It's a kind of a 50-50 split of 2 tire, 4 tire stop. Here comes Goodman now.
Hands the lead over to Viper.
See what he's got up his sleeve.
That's going to go to Tom Goodman. But I don't know if Goodman has pitted yet.
He's on the pits right now. We're watching.
Okay.
Right sides are on. And left sides are going on, so he's got 4 tires stop as well.
Dick Jordan's coming in as well. Let's see, that should cycle through. Interesting to see how this plays out, but once everybody kind of gets through the line. So Josh 2 is going to come out, still out in the lead, but he's going to have John Wall right tight behind him and Musa right on his tail. So the top 3 cars there are Josh 2 currently in the lead, but he just left pit road to go John Wall second and Tom Musa third, and they are put a blanket over there right there all together. Josh 2 is trying to put Rich Finkel a lap down. I don't know if he is a lap down. Yeah, it was 1 lap down, so Josh 2 is trying to put him 2 laps down right now.
Robert Spring on the pits. Right side's going on. Left side's going on there.
Just kind of past a little past the halfway point. Like I said, them guys they're really, really going for it up front there. They're all right together. Josh 2 and John Wall got past Rich Finkel. Tom Moose's turn to try to get by him.
Because Finkel's in 11th, right? So he's kind of in the mix there.
Yeah.
Oh, Robert.
Robert Spring off the track.
Yeah. Like he had a steering failure or something. He was going into that little dogleg on the back straightaway and just went straight. The car didn't turn.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So he's got to try to get this thing out of here now without getting too messed up.
I'm trying to find him in that TV one on the backstretch. He got caught there in the blind spot of it.
Yeah.
Seems like the wheel's working now, but I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah. Maybe he had to take a sip.
Maybe Kim got a bingo behind him. So.
Oh, really? Just screaming and yelling. Bingo! What?
When we play Valheim, I can hear back there, B1, and every time it's, I don't remember what letter it is, but it comes up with the 74. He goes, bingo!
Nice.
Yeah. Now I'm looking at Tom Moose's back a little bit. Whoa. He kind of lost a little time on them there. So having them all their tires, where them guys came in a little later, their tires are a little better.
I don't know what I saw right there. I'm backing it up a bit. Was that? Oh, it looks like I thought I just saw Finkel go off. Oh, it looks so weird from that other camera angle. It looked like he was wrecking it. That's amazing. Not even close. Totally fine. False alarm. I'm sorry for that. From the one camera angle, I was focused on 2. And then Finkel looked like he was headed for the wall, but...
Optical delusion.
Yes, exactly. Much like Robert Spring had a steering wheel failure, I just had a brain failure.
Yeah, it happens. That's just stems from you not playing enough Valheim, that's all.
There you go.
Yeah.
Working too much. Yeah, we had a trailer breakdown yesterday, so we literally got paid to sit around for 5 hours and do nothing.
Ugh.
And then, easiest $150 I've ever made.
Yep.
But then today it was like double the freight because they decided to just cook the whole trailer yesterday. They couldn't get it to us.
Yep.
That's the problem when the trailer breaks, right? Like if the tractor breaks, you just send another tractor to pull the trailer. But when the trailer breaks, you're screwed. So we've got a full 53-footer full of freight that we can't deal with. And then today, of course, we get today's truck plus that one. So.
Yep.
100 stops, couple hundred pieces out there chilling on overtime today, actually earning it. So hopefully tomorrow, because the long weekend's coming up. So yeah, Easter long weekend. So happy holidays, everybody. This is when the traffic gets silly. Mm-hmm. Everybody's going to the cottage or whatever. Luckily for me now, I do a city run, so I don't even need to use the freeway anymore.
So if the race were to end right now, the Josh 2, Rich Knappick, and Viper would be your 3 drivers that will make it into the final races for the chase. The 4th one, I would dare say would be, if the race ended right now, it would be John Wall. But that's the race. We still got. What, probably 27 laps to go.
Is that playoff knockout round, though, only with the 6 that are in it, right?
So tonight's race 3. So we're going to take 3 drivers out of here tonight. And then, so like I said, if it were to race right now, Josh 2, Rich Knappick, and Viper would be the 3 drivers that are going into the final race for the champs to win the championship. Mm-hmm. Then it goes by points. So I say, it may not be because, it depends. Like I think John Wall was 3rd in points going in tonight. So he is the highest driver right now. that has not, that's not in the chase due to the fact that last week he could not get home in time enough from work. So he was unable to make the race. But he did get provisionals. So he's the highest guy in points right now. That would put him as the 4th driver into the chase. So that way, the last race of the season, then it's just 4 drivers. Whoever finishes ahead of who will win the championship.
Okay.
Kind of neat because, you're eliminating 3 every time. But you know how that could go. If you have 12 drivers and you eliminate 3, what's the incentive for the other 3 drivers to come and, they can't win the championship, so why come? Well, no, they have an opportunity. You outpoints the rest of the guys that did not make it into the chase, then, you can be the 4th driver that makes it in.
Yeah, that's a neat way to do it. It keeps people coming back because then there's always a chance you can still squeeze yourself back in there again.
Yes, we should have talked with Tom about what his intentions are, because I know a lot of times in the summertime, they don't really race in the summertime over here. Most of it was always kind of like a winter series. I know that they've kind of expanded it a little bit, and maybe it's quite possible that they'll be doing a little bit more in the summertime, but we'll have to talk with Tom and see how that, how that's going to work out. But it's not like they do some of the, Open Speedway runs 7 nights a week, ASR, 3 nights a week, RTG 3 or 4 nights a week, these guys just run 1 night a week. They don't burn themselves out. They all have fun. A lot of the guys here, you got Jamie Tedder, John Wall, as Musa's making his way down pit road. He's been the first car down pit road all night.
Rubino just came down actually before him, but yeah.
But we're 22 laps to go, so this will be Musa's last stop.
Mm-hmm. And we'll follow him to see what he's going to do from 3rd position.
Be interesting to see, because this should be his last stop for the night. Due to, they've been doing about 22 lap hits. All 4. He's ready. He's going to go with 4 tires for the rest of, make sure that he's got the right good 4 tires for the last run of the night.
And there is Jean Wall on his way down.
Good thing for Musa now. Hopefully, he's hoping that, he can get a little bit of distance on him. But with John Wall pitting right now, too, John Wall, I think that's probably a situation where Musa's strategy dictated what John Wall decided to do. He knows that he can't, if he stays out too long, Musa's going to get too far away. He might not be able to, catch up to him. So he's, that's the strategy he's going to use. He's got to beat Musa to, to stay in this championship. So
Musa also, Wall also did 4. Josh 2 in his stall right now. Right sides are going on.
Yeah. Viper is pitted as well. I missed how many tires he took, but
2 only took 2.
So that leaves Rich Napick,
Here he comes.
coming down pit road right now. Yep. Currently with pit stops and everything all coming through, it'd be interesting to see how it all plays out. But right now, currently only 6 drivers on the lead lap. So that could change a little bit once, Rich Napick gets back out there on the track. We'll know, it might kind of put some other people back on there.
Napick pitting from 2nd place. Right sides are on. And it looks like he's only doing rights.
I'm wondering about Jamie Tedder hasn't made his last pit stop yet.
Not yet, no. Fenkel to his stall.
Steve Rubino, it's in the chat.
From 10th, he's a lap down. Left sides only for Fenkel. There's Goodman. And there is Tedder. Tedder is doing rights. So is Goodman. Goodman is doing lefts, and so is Tedder. So they went in together, and they're going to come out pretty close.
John Wall managed to pit a lap later, but came out in front of Tom Musa. He had a quicker, faster pit stop there. So it's a good thing. But there again, it doesn't mean that they're gonna be in there as these drivers fall. Some of these drivers. So, for example, Tom Goodman was the points leader coming in tonight, and if he gets knocked out, being the points leader, as long as his finishes well enough, if he finishes well enough, he'll be the fourth driver in there. So you really don't know who's going to make it, other than the top three guys that finish it up front, and then we'll have to refer to Tom Musa to whether or not who makes it. What? No, I'm not going to sit here and do the math, so we'll have to have him tell us what's going to happen. I wondered if Musa would be able to get in and out and get ahead of them guys, but get ahead of John Wall being that earlier pit stop, but it didn't seem to work out. Right now he's currently right just on the back bumper of John Wall, not really pushing him too much, but he's in his draft. He's got Dan Rubino right on his tail, though.
A little assist from Rubino. Rubino's off the pace, though. He's one lap down. He is the first car one lap down. And as we said before, Mackenzie Weston, the guest pace car driver this evening.
Sitting in the pace car, twiddling her thumbs,
doing
going,
a whole lot of nothing. Yeah.
Yep.
Not really doing much.
Nope.
Which
Now
is a good
Josh
thing.
too.
You get paid the same if you have to do a lot of driving or not. So
Josh too still out front there, but John Wall is kind of running him down. But the thing for Josh too isn't so much that he has to win. We all want to win. I mean, that's it. That's why we race. We want to win. But should to say John Wall and Tom Musa pass him, that's okay. He's still he'll still be in there for the championship. Currently, right now, so far, that would be Josh 2, Viper, and Rich Napick would be the three drivers that transfer. Like I said, the rest of it, it's up to Tom to let us know. Getting down to, we've got about 12 laps to go. This race went flying by.
it certainly did. There's the 85 of Josh 2 currently still in first. He's got about a second and a half on Wall. Wall's trying to reel him in. He's going to have to start doing it.
Glad to see Wall's connection, fixed it, got situated. Probably the kids downloading, games or something like that. He probably went up and yelled at the kids to get off, maybe at the wife too, get off the computer. And
Steam has their spring sales, so you got to buy up all them cheap games. I mean, they're already cheap enough on Steam, but then they go on sale. Like, why not? Current laps led this evening. Tom Goodman has 1. Viper has 1. Jamie Tedder has led 3 laps. 15 laps led by Rich Napick. 20 laps led by Tom Musa. 20 laps led by John Wall. And 31 laps led by Josh 2.
Well, that's, as I say, that's good for 2, but I think the one that's more important for, if, like I said, the race is going the way it goes right now, we're 10 laps to go. Should it fall like this, laps led doesn't mean nothing to Josh too. It's just finishing ahead of Viper and, basically finishing ahead of Viper, finishing ahead of Rich Napick, and definitely Tom Goodman, who is in the 6th spot. But those are the top 4 of the guys going for the chase. Jamie Tedder's back there in 7th currently, but he's the 5th driver in that. It'd be interesting to see. Like I said, I think it would be close with Goodman and Wall points-wise.
As always, after the race, all points are unofficial. This is a pretty easy race to call, though.
Yeah.
Not too much up for review unless they were cutting pit road or something like that we didn't see, but that's kind of tough to do, too, without getting a black flag.
Yeah.
John Wall is right there. I mean,
like Aiken's response. Don't be fooled. He said it's probably John Wall. He's multitasking, playing Fortnite and racing at the same time.
Steve Rubino, cheers to the cameraman. Oh, thanks, buddy.
You hear me say that?
Cheers to the cameraman. I missed that one. Did you say that one?
Yes, I did.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good. Josh, too, getting down to it. We're coming to the line with going to be about 6 to go.
Mm-hmm. Wall's right there, man. I mean, he's within striking distance. Rubino behind him is 1 lap down, so that red car is not part of the positions, but he could definitely assist in a push or some draft. Too. Here it is.
Get up there and get himself on the lead lap, per se. And caution falls, he's back on the lead lap. Unfortunately, the caution falls, can't go change tires, but, at least it gets him back on the lead lap, maybe an opportunity to go a little higher up on it.
So Wall takes the lead and will lead his 21st lap of the night.
Like I said, Josh, too, does not have to win. I mean, we know he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to let John Wall beat you. Now, come on.
Yeah. He's the one to beat. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the guy to beat.
Josh, too's just got to, play it smart and just keep where he's at. Literally, he's got Viper behind him as the next guy that can take a position away from him for the championship round of it, but he's 17 seconds behind him. So, literally, he's just got to stay right behind John Wall, stay right where he is. He'll make his way into that championship 3, and we'll find out. I don't know if we'll find out this week, but we'll probably know definitely next Wednesday going into it the 4 drivers that are going to go for the championship.
And last week's winner was Tom Goodman in the 33 car, currently running 6th.
But, like I said, Goodman being where he is in points, I think John Wall needs to win this race. There was about what was that, 7-point difference, but I don't think there's a lot of difference in points. And as far as it's not like the original Cup Series where it runs. There you go. They just saw Josh too pull that move on the outside, going through the little dog leg there. Got off that corner, got on the outside of John Wall going into dog leg. Now comes off turn 3, in underneath him. Not quite got the lead. Now it's up to Bino to decide who is he going to push. I think Josh too will be able to get the advantage on the bottom side. I think your bottom down here is going to give him a little bit better grip.
Oh,
ooh,
man. Yeah.
That was close.
Trading paint.
We're getting down to it. We're coming to the line with 2 to go. These guys are battling it out hard for it.
Yeah, they're switching positions again here. 2 to the front, but he's not completely clear.
Ooh. Who's going to get this one?
I don't know. That's too close. That was way too close.
Gosh,
did he get it?
Took that one. Yeah.
It's a tie. What's the 3rd digit?
Oh, God. I got to go look at that. Hold on.
Yeah. I've got it as zeros on my screen.
Is at 0.002.
Wow. 2 1,000ths of a second at the line. We're coming up to the white flag this time by 1 full lap remaining.
This is the last lap right here. So, see, there, Josh too doesn't have to fight for this. He's going to be in the championship either way. But, you do get done with the evening and say, I beat John Wall. Come on now. Yeah, you want to do that. Yeah. He's got himself positioned going into turn 3 and 4 on the inside where he needs to be. He's got to get that better run off the corner to beat John Wall down that straightaway.
As long as he's got her hooked up right on the line.
Wall's coming back. Oh, this is going to be close.
It's a drag race. They're slamming. They're slamming. He got him. Oh. Josh too. Got him at the line.
Got him. Good race. Gosh, Dan, that was a nice finish.
0.01.
Tom Musa coming back with 3rd. Viper 4th. Rich Napick 6th. Tom Goodman, Rich Napick in the 6th. 5th. Tom Goodman, I did that once, only it's the first time I've done tonight, is 6th. 7th is Jamie Tedder. 8th, Dan Rubino. 9th, Dick Johnson. And 10th is Robert Spring.
I like how they start slapping doors on the final straightaway. Like, oh man, are we really going to do this? We'll go back and look at it at instant replay there. Once I save everything up, we'll see how close it actually was. I was using helicopter camera because it really does give... That camera doesn't change. It just follows them. And these other ones kind of change and stick and do all kinds of different things. So.
I wasn't really happy how TV1 was working, but I mean, it did all right. But
Yeah, they were good, but it's you want to be able to catch that finish, especially in a situation like that where it's almost a photo finish. Helicopter's always the best one. Who he's going for? It looks like he is already going to go for the victory pose here.
Now he's on the infield
Yeah,
trying
he's
to
going
find
for victory lane there.
victory lane. There he goes.
Yeah,
He's got it. He knows this guy's a consummate professional. He knows right where he's going.
it's the Josh's Eggs and josheseggs.co. Victory
That's
lane
cool.
photo.
What a finish there, boy, I tell you. So let's see. Let's grab Tom Musa, the third place finisher for tonight. Let's see if we can find him. Tom Musa, you got Rod and Blaine in the booth. You got a coffee.
I am, but I'm trying to do points.
Oh, okay. You got third place, man. You got to get an interview in.
I know, 3 in a row, or 2 in a row. Gotta go figure that.
Well, I know you're going to do points because we were hoping that you were going to get us that information before the night was out. But
I have a very vague feeling that John kind of screwed himself by not taking the win.
Yeah, I think it was pretty close. But so through the night, you were, usually the first guy to come down pit road. We saw you take two right side tires, kind of around the halfway point. Was that the only time that you took those 2 tires? I guess your strategy paid off to a certain extent, but Josh too and John Wall kind of got you covered near the end.
Yes, I was actually going to short pit on the first stint, but I was running so good I didn't want to do that. Oh, wow. This is... okay. Looks like Cow made it in.
Oh, wow. So
by 2 points.
Been the difference if John Wall had won, he'd have probably made his way in. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Anyhow, I was going to do that the first one, but then I was running really good, so I decided to go on, I think, the third time I took 2. And, I had that, 5-second lead, and John must have been saving gas and doing whatever. And I was able to run 31 1s, 31 3s, even with the left front going down. So that was the plan, but then everybody else figured it out, and it worked out for Josh, so he did a good job.
Oh, I see when you did that. You did the 2-tire stop. Wall was about a lap off from you. You got down to it. We knew it was going to be the last stop of the night. You went in and took 4 tires and came out, and then immediately John Wall was right there, trying to make sure that he stayed somewhere near you. Although we were correct when we talked about it earlier. The other guys in points, Tom being, the points leader going in, that definitely paid off for him. But I see that, like I said, when you went down there, kind of one of those, you made the move, so John Wall followed you.
Yeah, Kyle did it on the first pit stop. He should have never said anything, but he did. And then everybody else figured it out.
Oh, he did what a lot of you guys do. I'm pitting, 2 tires.
Yeah, I was going to run the race backwards like you do on road courses, and that would have worked, but heck, I was in first place. I'm not going to pit and do something stupid.
Well, the thing of it is, you didn't know if the caution was going to come out or whatnot, and so it's kind of good when if you knew that the caution wasn't going to come out. That's one way of looking at it, but good strategy could get ruined by one caution at the wrong time very quickly.
Yeah. I'm very happy to say there's another caution-free race. 2 cautions in 360 laps?
Something like that. The guys have been having a really good, playoff race around. Although most of your guys' races are usually pretty good, there's not a lot of cautions in them.
Right, yeah. All these guys here are awesome. They know how to respect each other and how to race around each other, which is a big thing.
I enjoy racing over here with you guys. Just a little while back there, I couldn't quite get in there as much. And then, of course, I run the Open Series at ASR on Wednesdays. But great place for people to race. And you want to come over and race with a good group of guys. Strategy racing, it's definitely, you got to have some strategy sense to you. Just because that's you can't take tires under cautions and stuff. And that makes for a really good strategy.
Yeah, that's the idea I came up with, and it seems to be working. These guys like it. You either like it or you hate it. I mean, anybody can drive on new tires. I don't care who you are. And if you got to strategize and save gas, and that's how I set up the races, just so you have to do it and you have to run it that way.
Well, that was awesome. I was going to say, the Blaine's playing around. I can see he's doing that, so we'll let him do that. But congratulations on finishing third. And unfortunately, you didn't make it into the championship round, but that's okay, you know.
Yeah, I screwed up the first race. My fault. I went too fast.
So now what you got to do, though, is you just got to go out there and try to fight to be the 5th place in points driver. That's the next, you know, then your next goal for next week is to try to finish 5th in points.
10-4, yeah, absolutely. And the winner of the championship will get a $25 Texas Roadhouse gift card.
Oh, very cool. All right, well, I'll give you the opportunity to, you know, just thank anybody and everybody you want to, so the floor is yours.
All right, thanks for all the guys coming out and my wife dealing with me on this every Wednesday night. Great group of guys here. If guys are interested, we'll start up again in fall, August. Same series type of deal, Cup, trucks, and then Aero, and then the championship and IROC. And the most guys I want to have run every week is 20. I don't want more than 20 guys, just because then it gets to be really hectic, and we don't need a lot of yells and stuff. But yeah, we got plenty. We got at least 5 openings. Some guys are coming back this year. So if you're interested, check our Facebook page out, or we actually have a website.
Yeah.
So you guys actually take the whole entire...
You did a great job, and we got one more week to go.
Absolutely.
So you guys actually take the whole entire summer off?
Yeah, we might do some Wednesday stuff. Roger's thinking about it, and I think Roger's back now, so that's awesome.
Yeah. I was telling you, Blaine, earlier that they kind of take the summer off. So
Yeah.
I do a production company, so I got gigs all week long, and it's really hard for me to get weeknights open.
Cool. All right. Well, congratulations on finishing, third. Unfortunately, you didn't make it in, and you're just going to have to, buckle down next week and go for that 5th place in points. So, good job, Tom.
All right. Thanks. I ran the next week's track already, and it should be as good as this one.
Sweet.
Nice.
Congrats.
Thanks.
John Wall, you got Rod and Blaine in the booth. You got a copy.
I do. Hello.
Hey now.
So, we were just talking with Tom there. You shouldn't have let Josh 2 win.
Man, I'm lucky I even made the race today with everything that was going on.
Yeah, well, you started in the back. You kind of, you were pretty aggressive. I wouldn't say aggressive as far as, bumping people out of the way, but, you were on a mission, kind of heading in towards the front there, the first part of it. You got into the pit stops. I think you kind of probably wanted to get yourself a little track position and kind of slowed it down a little bit, saving, conserving, and, kind of kept an eye on Musa. You're pitting kind of sort of around him. Am I seeing that right?
Honestly, I went with the mindset. I knew I had to point my way in, and I didn't know really all the scenarios, who had to finish where to do what. So I said, well, I got to start in the back anyways. I said, I'm going to run the race, wide open, basically, run it as best I can, as hard as I can, get to the front as quick as I can. I think, Musa, he went in a couple laps early every time, it seemed like, compared to me. And I was just trying to maximize many laps as I could and have the shortest amount of laps with the freshest tires at the end. That was my plan anyways.
Yeah. Well, to think about it this way, though, if you're Josh 2, all right, and you have an opportunity, would you rather have Tom Goodman in for the championship or John Wall? Yeah, you got that. Laughter says it all right there,
Yeah.
You are a fierce competitor, leading most of the time up front, leading and winning races, and I think Josh's strategy was just to keep you out of it, but you did.
Yeah, it's funny because I talk to Josh all the time. I have him on Whisper, and I told him, he's like, I don't know, and I'm like Josh, I ain't gonna do anything stupid. I said, race your race, go for the win. I was like, I got to go for broke. I said, I'm not gonna do anything stupid to you. You run your race how you want to do. Don't be nervous thinking you're gonna wreck me. I'd rather wreck myself than you feel bad about something like that.
Yeah, I've raced with you plenty. You're a lot of fun to race with. One thing I like about racing with you is you make me step up my game. So I always think that's pretty cool. But now what you've got to do, your goal now is to beat out the rest of the guys to finish in fourth in points for the season.
Yeah, I don't even know. They haven't even said anything yet. I don't even know if I got that or not. I'm just thrilled for Josh. That's probably one of the best battles, best finish for the win I've had. I've had many of them with Chris Aiken, and you know how he and I are together.
Yes.
That's the first time that Josh and I have battled for a win, and I think it was like .00. I don't even know, 0.6 maybe, even less. I don't know, but
it was close.
It was awesome.
It was very, very close, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news to bring it to you. You lost the chance to get into the fourth spot by 2 points. The difference of winning and making it was just about 1/100th of a second or something like that. If you'd have had that bumper a little bit further, you would have been in.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. I know who was it? Tom. Yeah, Tom. He probably he said he got it.
Yeah, Tom Goodman beat you in by 2 points.
I'm all for it, man. I'll be cheering him on because he's put a lot of time, effort, and everything. I do try to race full time here. Of course, you know how my schedule is, but I'd rather see somebody that's committed that time, the energy, and everything. Josh, he's run most all the races. All the other guys, there's a reason why they made it. That's why they're running. I gave it my best effort. I can't say I didn't try. I sure did. But I'm glad to see the actual regulars, the full timers, get it.
That's awesome. So, Blaine, do you have a question for John?
No, man, just a flawless race. I mean, no yellows. What was the count? It's been 300 plus laps, and there's only been like 2 or 3 caution flags. That's pretty awesome, dude. And like, of course, the strategies. Everybody's coming into a race with a strategy on, okay, if we go green the whole way, this is what I'm gonna do. Boom, boom, boom. But a wrench always gets thrown into it, but not so much tonight.
No, yeah, let me go and say this, and I said this to the whole group at the start. I said I watched last week's race. I said you guys had like 2 cautions or whatever it was, and this group of guys here at TMP, I mean, it's a smaller group. I think I said something in the chat last week. You don't have to have 20, 30, 40 cars entered in a race and have 15 cautions. Quality over quantity. Honestly. And these guys have shown it. These guys have proved it. If people are tuning in and they want to see Rex, well, okay, well, there's other series to watch that. But TMP, these guys have turned around. These guys race hard. They're very respectful, and I love running with them.
That's awesome. So I'll give you a chance to, just thank anybody and anybody, whatever you want to do to thank them. The floor is yours.
I appreciate it. Again, you guys do a great job with the broadcast. I didn't have it on the background like I did in week 1, but I'm going to watch it tomorrow when I'm I think a few minutes at work. Of course, the guys at TMP, the admins, again, Tom, he does a great job. Roger, this is their bread and butter, and I'm really appreciative of them always allowing us to come over, me to come over, and then us as a group at SMO. I know we share the team. We share all the stuff kind of to make it work for both leagues. Of course, my SMO guys, they're great. I've been with them for years now, and although he beat me, I'm going to say Josh too. I got to thank him and his Josh's Eggs because he sponsors me. In fact, last year he and I went to Rockingham. We were at the comeback there at Rockingham. I couldn't make the trip this year. I think he's still going, but otherwise I would have been heading over there tomorrow. I think I probably would have been, but yeah, those are the guys. I'm super happy for Josh. I'm happy for Tom that he got to make it in. It's gonna be hard to see who I'm gonna pull for next week.
Yeah, it's amazing. A racing simulator, basically, some people call it a game. That the friendships that you can make, basically, by playing a game or a simulator online.
Oh, for sure. At this point, I'm 38 years old. To me, simulators. I guess you can kind of consider it with this, but it's so old. I mean, we're not going anywhere with this. This is just for fun. This is a hobby,
Yeah. Hey, I'm 59 and still doing it. So.
Yep. Hopefully, I can still do it there.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
Pass the torch to Hunter and let him start running.
There you go. Well, not pass the torch, man. You got to get a computer set up beside yours and then go out there.
That's true.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations on your second place finish. And I tell you, you shouldn't have let him. You just should not have let him beat you. You'd have made it in there. But good job, man.
I should have left hooked him right there on the corner exit and said, "Oh, my bad." But
there you go.
I don't know what my work schedule is going to be like next week. I might not even be able to run it, but we'll see. Worst case scenario, if I miss the race, I'll pop in. Maybe I'll be maybe I'll help you guys out for a couple laps there. A little broadcast help.
Sure, we'll bring you right up there. Just let us know. All right, congrats.
Sounds good, guys. Be safe. Appreciate y'all, and good job on your broadcast.
Thanks, John.
All right. Wow, look at this guy. Pulled it off. Beat the one, the only John Wall there. Josh, too. You got Broad and Blaine in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
So, thinking about it, I was telling to Dylan John there, I said, you think about how that race went. If John beats you, gets the win, he's the fourth driver in the championship. And I said to John, I said, if you're Josh, too, do you want to go out and fight a championship with John Wall or Tom Goodman?
Well, John. Well, here's the deal. John's the best in the business. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw him coming up behind me, and I was like, he's going to win this race. Even coming out of 4, I was like, he's going to win this race. But I'll be 100% truthful with you. I mean, John and I are good buddies, and John does a lot for my racing and helps. He's helped me over the years and all this stuff. And I mean, honestly, I wanted John to be in the championship, and I even asked him those last couple laps. I said, "Are you in?" And he said, "I think so." And so I felt pretty good about it. I mean, knowing that he's the man to beat, the honest, truthful answer, because he's such a good friend of mine and a good racer, would be yes. I actually did want him in the final. Not that I wish everybody was in the final. That's kind of my nature. Is I want everybody to have a good time. But I did want John in the final round next week, and honestly, I thought he was.
He lost out by 2 points.
That's what I heard.
Very close.
Fact. Yeah, I found that out after the fact. I didn't know that. Like I said, I mean, he's the best in the business, and I really thought, he came off of 4. I was like, he's gonna win this race. I mean, he's on the high line, he's got the momentum. But I'll tell you, I went through 3 and 4. I didn't have much of a left front left, but I sure didn't have anything left after 3 and 4 because I don't think I even lifted. I just turned the wheel all the way and just floored it. And apparently it was worth 0.0 something to win. So
it's one of those deals where you're never going to use these tires again. You might as well just use them up.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't care if I have them to do a burnout with. I just need to get through the line.
Yeah, you got it by 0.01, which is basically about half a tire.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah.
So knowing that you're going to go next week, you got Homestead. I don't sure if it's the PDF version or what Project Wildfire version or not. How good are you at Homestead? Do you think you can hold these guys off?
Well, here's the deal with that. So I know JTN broadcasted these 2 races last year.
Yeah.
This race a year ago was heartbreaking, to be honest. So I came out of 4. They announced me as the winner. Like the 85 won it, and I didn't. I ran out of fuel right before the line, and I think it was the 6 car beat me to the line. So literally announced me, 85's won the race. Well, wait a second. No, he didn't. And get this, I made the championship round for the final race and ran out of fuel again at home at the final race and lost the championship 2 weeks in a row, I was in the lead on the white flag lap. And
you need to buy your crew chief a new calculator then.
well, I thought it would work out tonight. I run pretty well here. I was a little worried, to be honest, at the beginning because I started so far back. And I don't know what the right strategy is, because if you run too hard, you're not going to have tires. I don't know, there's all these strategies. I just ran like there was no tomorrow the whole race. And
it paid off.
Yeah, it barely. And the last run, when I took 2 tires on the last run. That's why my left front was so bad. But the run before that, I tried to conserve the left side tires a little bit.
Knowing you're only going to take 2, yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. But yeah, like I said, I'm really excited to be in that group next week. And I hate my friend John is not going to be in that round. I really thought he would be, because I thought if we're 1 and 2, he'll be in there. And I think he maybe thought that. I haven't talked to him since we finished up, but it was a heck of a race.
Blaine, do you have any questions for Josh?
Yeah, how's the egg business going with Easter coming?
My goodness, the egg business is good. The chickens are laying like I said, they're just laying tons of eggs, and it's going pretty good right here before Easter. But I want to say this too. The views that you guys get, because I've just saw a few clips of the broadcast, but I'll go back and watch it. The angles you guys get are amazing, and I like what Roger did with all the graphics of the track. He really beefed that thing up. And there's egg decals everywhere. There was an egg in Victory Lane.
Yeah, the Victory Lane was cool. There was I never got to it, but there was billboards. I think it was in turn 1 and 2, and it was all fresh. Tarnation TV, Josh's Eggs. It had all this stuff there. It's very, very cool.
Yeah, he did a really good job, and all of these guys here, Tom and Roger put a lot of time into this deal and do a really good job.
That's awesome. So I'll give you the chance to thank anybody you want to thank, so we can get over there next week and see you go for the championship. Maybe you don't run out of fuel this time, but the floor is yours, buddy.
Yeah, if I can take what I had left in the tank from this week and store it up next week, maybe it'll get me across the line.
I don't think that's going to work, though, because Jamie Tedder, he didn't use the first race round. He won the 2 races, and there was 2 tires on each race he didn't use. And we were trying really hard to get Tom to let him carry him over, but he wouldn't. But
yeah, that would be nice. Well, I don't want to keep y'all forever, but this win was pretty big to me. Like I said last year, and I've said this before, and I've improved a lot over the years. I got back into this in 2018, and it's been a slow grind. And part of the grind has been, my friends helping me and telling me, like, slow down, don't take 2 tires, take 4 tires. Like, all the guys that have helped me. And SMO kind of became my home league over the years. And, all those guys have helped me a lot. Chris and John and Viper and Jamie and RC and Tom and all the people that run there. And, Roger's the reason I got into online racing, and I won't go into all that, but that was in 2002 or 3, a long time ago in NASCAR 3. And, I never thought I'd get an online win. And, so tonight's a pretty big deal, because there were years ago I thought, well, I'll never win one of those. I'll just, run back here. And to win against John tonight was huge, because, like I said, I feel like he is one of the standards in this game. And I wanted to give it everything I had. And
Doug's gonna go out. Give me a minute.
Oh, you're good. Like I said, I wanted to win the race. I also wanted John to make that Final 4, because he's been such a good friend and always a good racer and so helpful and a good buddy. And honestly, I cared as much about that as I did the win. And that's why I asked him, there at the end, I said, you're in, right? You think you're in? And I think we both thought that he was. And so I hate that he didn't make it in, because he is a class racer. I mean, he just does such a good job. But anyway, we'll go forward to next week and we'll see what happens. And thanks to you guys for the amazing work. I mean, I feel like every time I watch a broadcast from Tarnation TV, it just the quality just goes up, and commentary's great. Thank you to Tom and Roger and everybody for hosting this. And anyway, and the cars are cool. I really appreciate Tom and Roger, letting Josh's eggs be on the cars, and just a good night for a little redemption from last year. So we'll see what happens next week.
All you got to do now is just go out there and get it. You got to beat 3 drivers that you don't have to win. You just got to beat those 3 drivers. So make sure the gas tank's full and go out there and get them.
Yeah, not run out of fuel. That would be key. So,
all right. Well, congratulations on the win. I know that with this group of guys, especially with John Wall, Jamie Tedder, Viper, they don't let you win all that much. So congratulations on it. Awesome job tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And it's one of those things, when I get around those guys, I feel honored to even be racing them. And I don't want them to cut me any slack, because I always want to get better. I mean, this is a big hobby for me that I really enjoy. And I just appreciate John. I told him this after the race. I said, when I get around you, I know I'm going to be race clean. He's going to be respectful, and he's going to make me work. And I want to work. So it's good to be around people like that.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on your win, and good luck next week here. We'll be seeing you, and hopefully you can go out there and take that championship.
All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Blaine.
Oh, should we bring Tom down, or just to congratulate him, or?
Sure, if you want to, yeah.
Tom Goodman, you got Rod and Blaine in the booth, buddy. You there? Yeah, we had to just bring you down. We're not gonna go, big long interview or nothing, but just to congratulate you on, making it into the top 3 there, buddy, or top 4, actually.
By the hair of my chinny chin chin.
2 points, but you ran, you won last week. You've run, been right there, every week, kind of right there in the points and whatnot, and that, going in there in tonight with the most points, boy, that helped you out, even though, you didn't finish where you probably wanted to, 6th place finish, but you still got a chance to outpoints the rest of the guys, and, you got that coveted 4th spot.
Yeah, and, I told you last week that was my goal, to get the 3rd position. I missed it by 1, and it was about 3.5 seconds, so the points, I didn't ever think the points were going to matter, because I usually don't do that well in points, but yay.
You made it in, so that's all. We just wanted to get you down here real quick and, congratulate you on making it in, and, now you got an opportunity to go win the championship, so you just got to go get them next week at Homestead.
I hope everybody watches, man. This was a great race, no cautions, and I think next week is going to be even better.
There you go. Well, congratulations on making it into the 4th spot, and like I said, we'll see you next week. Go get them.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good night. Congratulations.
Bye-bye.
I love how it came down to that close. It was 2 points, right? Is that what it was? Something crazy close like that,
2
right?
points. 2 points, but he went in 7 points ahead of John Wall, and he was 1st in points. Rich Napick was 2nd in points, and Wall was 3rd. 7-point difference. Wall not winning the race, obviously, did not make it in there, so that's kind of cool. Tom's been running right there. Won last week, been finishing pretty consistent. He was one of, I think he made it in the 2nd season when the Truck Series, but he's got an opportunity to go get it. So you might as well just go get that. Go get that victory.
And it's wild when you talk about 2 points, because it's all about leading those laps, like we always say, like, oh, it's just 1. Well, hey, man, that 1 point for leading a lap somewhere back in time, you know, may be the difference, or leading the most laps, or finishing second instead of third, or ninth instead of 10th. All that stuff, you know, the consistency and every little point you can scrape comes down to that.
Well, you think about it, you know, a lot of times we, you know, as much broadcasting as we do, we, like, a perfect example, last night, Monday night we did Open Speedway. You saw Robert Spring and Chris Elliott. Now, neither one of these guys had a shot. I think Robert Spring had only ran 2 races. Chris Elliott had only ran 1 race. So they're not even in the points. But they went out and, under caution, led a lap. So you think about that, you know, so a lot of times we'll see, why is that guy staying out? It's gonna put him back. Well, there you go. I mean, if he stayed out like that under a caution flag, led a lap, come in, you know, did his pit stops and whatnot, put him in the back, but that, you know, that pays off in the end.
Yeah, you gotta keep coming out. You gotta keep racing the race, because, you know, who knows, when it comes down to this, it literally can be that close.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's it, man. I guess we everybody come back here next week, because if it's that close this week, who knows how it's going to be next week. It's going to be a pretty awesome show next week. The final race of the TMP IROC Championship Series, which is, you know, all their winners and champions and regulars. You know, it's like they were talking about there before, it's a smaller field, but it's less cramped, a little bit more movement, you know, and it makes for really good racing. You know, you don't need to have a jam-packed server to have a good race. You can still do it with 20 guys. So come check it out. Next Wednesday, April the 8th, we'll be live at about 8 o'clock. No, is it
15-ish?
Yeah, 8:15-ish. Yeah, ish. 9:15. I think I got the time wrong on there.
I think it was 9:15.
Yeah, it was 9:15 is when they qualify. I got that time wrong on the schedule we're looking at right now. But either way, come back here. If you're subscribed to the channel, you'll get the notification when we go live, and then you'll watch it, and then you'll like it, or you won't. We don't care. Do what you gotta do.
We're up to 402 subscribers right now.
We're not.
We only got 89 more to go, but no, we'll get there when we get there. You know?
Yeah,
98. We'll get there. We'll get there when we get there. But yeah.
500 is the goal. Yeah, that's kind of a big deal to think that 500 people gave a crap about you know, watching what we do and following it and how it's evolved over the years. And yeah, it's cool, man. But yeah, tomorrow we'll be at Talladega Challenge with RTG, producing that one more so and letting FRN do most of the talking. And on Saturday, the 6th annual Cannon Hinnett Memorial Race, remember to tune in there. We're going to have QR codes that lead to donation links. You can donate some money if you want. And that'll be hosted by ASR. Brian Wolf is responsible for putting that together each year. They call it the End to Gun Violence 120. It'll be at a version of Michigan. It's called Fluid. It's actually Fluid Studios Raceway, which is where Tarnation TV headquarters is. It was cool that John Godfrey actually gave us a little studio there. You saw it in the intro. That's the track, Fluid Raceway, so that's cool. It's a retextured version of Michigan, so that's a great track. It'll be a good race. That's an early start, 7 o'clock. I believe we'll be going live there. And then, of course, next Tuesday from Bristol, Maverick Cup Series resumes. 8:15 p.m. start for them, too.
And their Bristol race last year was pretty darn good. That was an awesome race. As many cars as they had. It wasn't a caution fest. It was a great race. You know, there was a few cautions. It's Bristol, man. You're gonna have a few, but
couple,
yeah. But it was a great race. I mean, I can remember going into that race last week, going, I don't think this is gonna work out really good. And I was very surprised. They had an awesome race there, so that'll be a good one to watch. And then, of course, like you said, next Wednesday, back here for the championship.
Yeah, Bristol's a cool track, but it's never fun online. But that Maverick race last year was pretty much flawless. It was one of the best Bristol races I've ever seen. You know, we got to broadcast it, and any Bristol race I've ever raced in is always a dumpster fire, but it wasn't. It was a fantastic race, so I wouldn't expect it to be much different this year too. Cool little short track.
I just noticed we're almost out of here. We got Bob Spring in here. We gotta ask, what happened coming out of turn 2?
Yeah, you drove straight into the grass. He's in here, but he's not talking. Oh, there he is.
No, I hear him. No, I was coming out of the pits and they were coming, so I stayed over, and they said, don't do that because you'll take it straight into the grass.
Okay. So you ended up just taking the trip off into the grass.
I did.
All right. Oh, I just had to ask you. I see you jump down here, but yeah, that was a good ride. That was a good race tonight. Can't wait for next week. That'll be fun. So.
Yeah, as always, this is it's been a slice. Thanks everybody for watching live or watching on the replay. Always appreciated. Thanks to TMP for having us in here to do the broadcasting services. Join us next week here on Wednesday. We'll wrap it up with the IROC Championship Series here at TMP. And as always, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Keep your stick on the ice.